Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Ratliff Mandolins Weekly Production Diary Series. I'm Audie Ratliff, and I'm going to let you in on all of the stuff that we did around the shop here this week. Number one, if you were watching last week's episode, you saw that we put the stain on mandolin number 10. Well, this week I got all of the clear coats on top of it, and it's hanging in the front room curing, and the next thing to be done to it is to actually put the hardware and the strings on it when the time comes. So that's where we're at with mandolin number 10. Most of this week's efforts were spent on mandolin number 11. If you'll recall, 2 or 3 episodes ago I mentioned that a friend had brought by some engraving equipment, and mandolin number 11 had a special tailpiece. The man had sent me a picture of somebody else's tailpiece saying, could you copy this engraving pattern? And so I can't really claim originality in the artwork, but I engraved that pattern, and I used a store-bought hand engraver instead of my old worn-out homemade one, a foot pedal, and more importantly than anything else, this microscope. This is an engraver's microscope that you can look down in, and boy, those tail pieces get awfully big when you do that. And so you can do really fine work. I'll show you some pictures here of this tail piece, and you can see it is tiny lines. Very pretty. In fact, actually, that's probably one of the finest engraving jobs I've ever done, and it's not because I'm a good engraver. It's a testament to the fact that when you use the proper equipment, the job gets a lot easier. So, we also got the stain on mandolin number 11, and I'll show you that. But first, I was talking to a fellow on the telephone earlier this week, and he was asking me how I sanded the recurve around the rim of a mandolin. I was trying to describe the sanding backer that I use, and I thought, boy, it would just be easiest if I just showed a photo of it or shot a little video and included in this video. And here it is. It's just a piece of wood shaped more or less to the contours of a mandolin, and then rounded over on the bottom, and that's pretty much it. I've actually made 2, one with square tips and one with the rounded tips, and I kind of like the square tipped one better. And believe it or not, after Christmas one year in the bargain bin, I found I guess it's a wreath form where you can make your own wreaths and stuff. It was just a round styrofoam ring, and I cut that into sections, and that, believe it or not, actually works pretty well for the same job. So there's several different ways of skinning a cat. Now, as promised, I'll tell you that the customer for number 11 did not want a traditional tobacco sunburst. He wanted what has been described as a black cherry sunburst, and he sent me some photographs via email, which I copied off to have with me down here whenever we did the stain job. And I did a bunch of tests. I started off testing little pieces of wood, and then graduated to bigger pieces so I could actually really see on the maple what these colors looked like. And so I think I come up with something that was really close. So by the time it was all said and done, I've got a black cherry sunburst on mandolin number 11, and you know what? I think it looks really nice, and it's pretty close to what the photograph was. Next week we're going to finish off putting all of the clear coats on mandolin number 11 if we can, and we'll probably start pulling some of those mandolins off the wall and putting hardware and stuff on them. Mandolins 5 and 9 and 7 and all of those. It's about time to start working on those. And if we can, we might actually even start on some of these repairs that have built up, and I'm going to try to take care of those before we start the next batch of mandolins after this one's finished. And so now we're starting into that transition phase between batches, and it'll be kind of interesting to document that as well. So look for us in the future. Thank you so very much for watching to the end. Hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next episode.